What's up, Gerald and Chad? How are you guys doing this evening? Yeah, I got the thumbnail because I had to put down my last dog yesterday morning, and my whole life got kind of turned upside down because of it. Because I've never not had a dog, and more than one actually, and now I don't have any. So it's kind of throwing me for a loop, changing, a little emotional because, like I said, I've never been without him. So reason for the thumbnail, a little bit sad, but at the same time, life goes on. This explanation for the thumbnail. I hope you guys watched. Actually, I should be kind and helpful and bring it up. Let's see. There it is. Hold on, just uno momento. Make sure I got this right. Nope, not settings. Invite, no. Present. Share screen. There we go. Share screen. Yes. Here we go.
Please like, share, subscribe.
Here we go.
Clean Air Metals. Mike, it's great to see you. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I'm thrilled to have you on today because we're going to talk about platinum group metals, and I do not get to have this conversation with enough people.
What's up, Finn?
Commonly known as PGM. Now, Mike, you have got an exploration project in the Bay where your company is exploring for PGM. We just put out some very exciting drill results. Can you talk me through some of those key numbers?
Yeah, so our drill program is at our Thunder Bay North asset. It's a 14 million ton platinum palladium deposit with also good amounts of copper and nickel.
14 million tons.
So this program is looking to put the continuity and increase the continuity in size of some of these high-grade pots in the upper current. So the drill program, the first two holes, we've recently released the drill results, and the two holes, spectacular results. We couldn't be happier. The first hole intersected about 51 meters of mineralization grading just under 5 grams per ton platinum.
How's it going, Ellie?
4.66 grams per ton palladium, 1.07% copper, and about 0.5% nickel. And the second hole was about 31 meters, generally the same grades, 4.2 platinum, 4.04 palladium, and almost a percent copper and 0.56 nickel. So it really shows the polymetallic nature of our deposit. We're very excited, not only because of the grades, but those widths, very mineable widths. And we see those, we're hoping the rest of the program is successful. But what this is going to lead us is to putting together a new program to define this template to actually look at other high-grade portions of the deposit and potentially expand the size. Because they are near surface, this will be the first part of the operation we mine. And very close to surface, and certainly with those grades and those thicknesses would improve the economics of this project.
It's lovely to see such high grades at shallow depths. But what I want to know is, how does this feed into your knowledge of the project already?
Yeah, so as we had a resource that was put out in the middle of last year. Like I said, a 14 million resource, and actually will be an operation someday. But we had some gaps in some of this high margin material, and I think filling in these gaps, trying to tie together some of these high grades, will actually feed into a future PEA, which we want to look at a lower tonnage, high grade, high margin, low capital option, even look at opportunities to toll mill this material. And that model we could apply to our other deposit, the Escape deposit, which is about 2.5 kilometers away. take a look to see if there's opportunities, the same type of opportunities there, and that can only strengthen our business case.
Now, this is going to seem a little unfair given you've put out very impressive grades just recently. But, you've got to follow this up. What comes next? What sort of news flow can investors expect to see over the coming months?
So with this program, we drilled about 10 holes, all about 150 to 200 meters. So we're still waiting on assays from the last 8 holes. As we said in the press release, we did intersect mineralization in each of them, but I can't speculate what grades we're going to get back from the assays. So we'll get those results back. We're going to apply, look at them holistically, develop future for the other high grade pods we do have, put together another drill program that could occur sometime over the winter. We haven't really talked about that yet. And beyond that, we certainly look to de-risk the project further. We've done a lot of metallurgical work and line design work. But what I think the right thing to do for us is put together an advanced exploration program, potentially a bulk sample, get that bulk sample toll milled. So we got a really understanding of what we can pull out in a bulk sample, a toll milling situation, and go from there. Not a complicated site. The simple ramp access, not a lot of infrastructure, and so I think we can move rather quickly from a PEA.
Mike, thank you so much for being here.
Basically, what he just said is the largest platinum vein in the world was discovered in Thunder Bay, and it's going to be very, very easy for them to access. The last report I did on this was they're not going to start until platinum prices reach more normal level. A ramp style that he's talking about, open pit down to 400 meters, ramp style to get to the ore, to where you can start mining straight down to get the ore. He was talking about 31 to 51 meter wide vein, 14 million tons of platinum ore, and there's possibilities for it to go up to 2 kilometers away. They might even find it's either high up close to the surface or goes deeper. So there's great potential for that to be, and it will be, as I have reported. Here's another question you need to ask. How did Neil report on this over a year ago? And they're just coming out now and telling you about this stuff. Makes you wonder why Neil is the Prince of Platinum. But that's why right now you need to buy platinum, because that right there is a distinct tell. That company said they were not going to attempt to mine until the price of platinum rose. So that's telling me the price of platinum is going to rise, because they're at the rate that he was talking about. They probably will start mining within 6 to 9 months, actually moving dirt on site. And if it's as simple a task as he's saying it's going to be to get down to 4, well, he said 400 meters, but he's also talking about 31 meters and 51. I don't know. I need to go do some more research. But it's very shallow mine. It won't take long to get to it, and it won't take long for them to start producing platinum. In which case, bye-bye bricks. Bye-bye bricks. Yeah, that's right. Bricks control over the platinum market will take a shiznits. And that means that America will run the platinum market, and platinum is going to be one of the most valuable metals for the modern technologies that are just around the corner and fixing to come out. So buy yourself some platinum. It's not financial advice, it's just good advice. But anyhow, that's why I'm a big lover of platinum. I know a lot about platinum, and I've been, well, over 2.5 years been talking about platinum. And it's about time for it to come. And that's why I didn't follow up on our legacy one. He wanted me to do like a weekly platinum report. But I'm disgusted with platinum because it's manipulated to high heavens. And what I'm happy about is this report you just saw is going to break the back of the manipulators, and platinum price is going to soar to its normal, twice the price of gold. Right now, platinum should be $5,500 an ounce. So if you're getting it less than 1,000, I'd buy some. I'd buy 2.25 for every ounce of gold you wanted to buy. And if you have gold, I'd trade gold for platinum, because when platinum shoots up to twice the price of gold, you can trade right now 3 pieces of gold will get you 7 pieces of platinum. Within 3 years, you'll be able to trade 3 of those pieces of platinum back and get your 7 pieces of gold back. So you have your 7 pieces of gold and 4 extra pieces of platinum. That's why I say buy platinum. But if you have gold, trade it for platinum. Wait for platinum to hit. It goes back up. And an indicator you can look for, not an indicator, but you can look at the charts. 2008 March, I think it was either 2008 or 2011. Might have been 2011 March. Platinum hit its all-time high of $2,270. You want to know what gold was at? $900. Platinum was at $2,270 an ounce. Gold was at $900. Did you hear that? That's 2011. How many years ago? 13 years ago? Platinum was 2.5 times, 1/3 times higher than gold. So if you don't think it can get there, well, 13 years ago it was. And then South Africa joined BRICS. China started suppressing the price of platinum so they could buy their 2.5 million ounces that they have to buy this year of a 1 million deficit in platinum this year, which is also going to drive the price up. Yeah, it's going to be fun, people. If you have platinum, you're good to go. If you don't have platinum, you'll wish you did. That's all I got to say. Because I'm an uneducated economist, and I seen this stuff coming. As soon as I looked at the precious metals, I was like, okay, where's the checkbox? Okay, gold, silver, platinum. Holy cow. Most of the PGMs, actually. Look at crystallized, well, there you go. Look at crystallized osmium. It's platinum. Osmium is a platinum group's metal. It's jamming. Hey, what's up, Tom? Man, platinum is going to blow your mind in 2025. And that little video I showed, if you haven't seen it, it's at the beginning. It's a 6-minute video telling you by the miners who are going to go through the process, what process they're going to go through. And then if it all looks good, they're going to start mining. And I did a report 3 weeks ago, maybe, where that same clean air and energy group was stating they were not going to mine until the price of platinum went up to a more normal ratio, which is twice the price of gold. And now all of a sudden they come up with a report saying they're moving forward for the next step of mining. So the next step was getting the bulk ore sample through the surveys, a little bit of dig in. What's up, Zardos? So after that, he said they're going to take and build the ramp so they can get down to the vein, the ore vein of platinum, and then they're going to start extracting it. So we're talking within 12 months. So basically what that says, if you know how to read between the lines, is that company said they would not mine platinum until platinum returned to a more normal price range. They just now said, you saw in the video, they're going to start the process of mining that platinum. So I am sure they're expecting return on investment. And right now it costs $1,100 to go out. Well, actually, it wouldn't cost them $1,100. It costs $11. See, this is where numbers change. In South Africa, it costs about $1,100 an ounce to get the platinum ore out, because they have to go down 2,200 meters under the surface of the earth to pull that ore out. And that costs a lot of money. So the same ounce or ore from the vein of the platinum vein in Thunder Bay, Canada, probably will cost them about $300 or $400 to pull out, because they don't have to go that deep, and the infrastructure is going to be a lot cheaper for them. What's that? What else comes from that mine? They had a heavy concentration of palladium, copper, and a smaller but still significant concentration of nickel in that vein. Samples, drill samples they have, showed it to be 31 to 51 meters in girth, the vein itself. So it's a pretty big freaking vein with high platinum, high palladium, high copper, and high nickel numbers in the ore samples that they received. So they're going to get You know, when copper goes up, they're going to jump on that, and when nickel goes up, they're going to, you know. So that actually, cleaner energy. You know, again, rewatch this live stream from the beginning. Get the name of that company and invest in them because their stock's going to rise. I think it's like 8 or 9 cents right now. And once the world realizes that they got the largest platinum vein in the world and South Africa's insignificant now, that means BRICS no longer has control of all the platinum on the planet. That kind of changes a lot of things. And I bet that stock price goes up. This is not financial advice. It just kind of sort of makes sense. Advice. Not even advice. It just makes sense. So I'm saying it. I'm not advising it at all. So don't take anything I say as advice. What's that? Sorry, Rocky went over. Who's that, Tom? The dog that I had to put down's name was Shiva. She was my Ridgeback. She was 13 and a half years old. They average lived 10 to 12 years, so I could have got a couple more years out of her if I had money to give her surgery, but I'll see her again in a couple years, decade or two. Oh, I don't care, Tom. It is not at any. No one could show up at the stream, and I've talked to myself for a little while and in the stream. People don't need to show up here if you don't want to hear the information. You know, that's cool. Yeah, what's even tougher is I had 4 of them, and I've had to put all 4 of them down in the past 12 months. 2 males for cancer, and 2 females for basically health issues and age. The males weren't as old as the females. The females, like Cookie Monster, my blue-nosed pit bull, she I had to put her down about a month ago. She was 13 and a half, almost 14 years old. And then Shiva, sorry about that. Let me get this down here. Shiva was 13 and a half, and she was my Ridgeback. Sweetest damn thing. They are very, very much cuddle dogs. It's like a big teddy bear. Very personal dogs. They like individual treatment, individual attention. You really got to watch out. You got to watch Cesar Millan before you get a dog on what dog's right for you. I just saw a little program he did a couple of years ago. And I've never had the opportunity to actually go look for a specific dog. My heart bleeds for all of them. So I take them as I find them. You know, I save them. I rescue them. I've never actually had a dog that I wanted. So I've had all types. I've had the type 1, 2, and 3 as Cesar Millan rates them. The lead, the omega, and the middle type energy and attitude dogs. And I've had all of them. In my last pack, I had 4. What's up, Long Lip Coins? I have 4: a red nose, a blue nose, a boxer mutt mix, and a Ridgeback. And those dogs typically don't really get along, but that's according to other people. People have different ways of doing things. People have different understanding of how to run animals. I've always been very lucky that the animals that I rescue, they just love me, and they don't care about the pecking order so much as in typical packs or prides. And they realize that I'm the leader and I run things, and they find their pecking order without being any fights or anything. And like for 10 years, I had 4 dogs that supposedly didn't get along, and they got along great. Well, no, 3. I got Red probably 7 years ago. He was rescued from a dog fight in East West Oakland. He was used as a bait dog. It was a horrible case, but I did the best I could for him, give him a good life. They reintroduced him to a pack. He got to feel like a dog again instead of like a piece of bait that was going to be eaten. So I don't even know what kind of dog I'd really want if I had the option to get one that I wanted. There's so many different. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. And by the time I think, I'll rescue it, and that'll be the dog I get. So I probably will never get like a purebred because I rescue too much. What's up, Jeff? Yeah, I was thinking about the Ridgeback. I'm not sure if a Ridgeback would be good on a boat either, but they might be. They'd be good if you could take them on the shore every now and then and let them cut loose. You could probably have a Ridgeback. But yeah, sorry about going off on a little rant on doggies. But yeah. So now half my side of my house I had put a gate up so my dogs couldn't get out to the front yard where the cats are. So I took all that stuff down, and for the first time in 8 years, I can actually walk from the front yard to the backyard, and that's kind of new and different. And I've been taking down the temporary fencing that cut the yard in half, and a lot of changes. I tend to, the ones that tend to be needing rescue are the big dogs, because a lot of people apparently don't like big dogs. Probably more because of a living condition. Oh God, there's another scenario that. Yeah, move into the city, have a better way of life. Don't have a dog that you want. Just get a little foo-foo puppy because you no longer have a yard, and you no longer have an area to walk because there's like 1 million people walking there. And if you bend over to pick up the dog's shit, you'll probably get poked in the butt and robbed. Yeah, move into the city so you can have a real life. Yeah, you give up having a real life when you move into the city, and then you get controlled by a certain party that wants to cram everyone into a small area so they can get the votes, so they can control you for their money. Next thing you know, we have crap problems. Get the frill out of the city and go buy a house, has a yard, and get some animals and live a real life. Of course, you'd be in a Republican area at that point in time. Not that that's a good thing, but it's a lot better than being in a city where you can't have a dog, you can't have a pond a half-mile down you can walk to where there's ducks and deer and all this other stuff that you'll never get inside a city. So when you grow up from inside a city, you're not going to know what a real life looks like because you've never had one. You've only had a fictitious life inside a concrete jungle, and those are not real. That was man-made, and it was out on so much. Dude, Finn, yeah, I mean, that's a person that's not giving that dog. That dog has a lot of love to give, and they ought to be taking full advantage of it and enjoying that. Dog has a lot of love to give. You let them give it to you, man. Like Gerald says, unconditional love. You will never get that from a human being, brother. No offense to anyone in the chat. Hell, I don't even give it to people, so I'm in the group too. Animals give you unconditional. Dogs, cats, unconditional love. It is so welcoming into your life, especially in today's age. Whew, all the crazies out there. And here's another thing. Glad you mentioned that. That's a funny thing, and some people might get annoyed by it. But for the first time in my life, I have not had dogs, and I'm actually a little paranoid now. I open up the back door, I don't know if there's anyone in my backyard because I don't have a dog out there to tell me if there's someone out there. So I experienced that last night, man. It was like, holy shit, that loss of security. Not that I count on my dogs to stop anyone, but I did count on them to bark, because at least then I'd be aware and I could come out in the right frame of mind into my backyard. I don't like going into that frame of mind all the time because it's not a good place to go mentally for me. And wow, I need that security that keeps me sane. So I'll probably get another couple four-legged creatures out backs. I'm hoping I can hold off until after I move to where I can get a couple of acres where I can really let them have a better life than the city life. Even though we have a yard, I mean a decent sized yard at that, but still. Yeah, there's one of my dogs never got their nails trimmed because I ran out of money. Because I only worked 2 weeks this year and only had unemployment for 4 months out of the year. This year was a bad freaking year. What's up, Jaden? Hey, someone's up in the background. Holy shit! Why didn't you yell? Damn, how long were you there, man? Here I am running my mouth and no one hollered at me.
That's okay. I just popped up.
Right on, right on.
Popped up. I got some new cameras I've been messing with, getting set up.
Right on. Oh, I know one thing I can do. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm going to do something.
Seeing if I can use them properly.
I'm only going to break out one. Excuse me. And sorry for the silence, people. I'm doing something here. And I got to end the virtual background because I got to get the tape out of the way. Ah! Hey, if I did that, let me turn this fan. I ain't got to worry about this fan that much right now because this thing's got some weight to it.
Hey, JM. Jeff Nelson, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You better pull yourself up front and center. Okay, that's a nice looking piece. So is this one that's going to be ready to go?
Yeah, I got 4, but then after that, there's a bump in the road with production.
Okay.
But yeah, I got 4. 3. I'm gonna keep one probably. Nah, I got these 4 here.
Cool,
4.
cool. Well, yeah, let me know. Email me or something, and I'll.
Oh, you're gonna be backstage. We'll talk.
Okay.
And then Gerald's already got one, so actually I only have 3. But I'll be shooting a 30-second commercial on them tomorrow because my neighbor just got back from a tour. He actually has. I need to film his sound room because he's got a sound. He's got to get up like you got, except for it's a little more advanced. He does actual recordings as well.
Cool.
But he's got the mix set. He does. As a matter of fact, he just got back from a 3-day gig with his band, and he had to go do a DJing gig as soon as he got back. So he goes further than you do, and is a DJing type thing. I don't know the actual words of it. I'm an older, ignorant guy when it comes to that stuff. but he does that kind of stuff. But he also plays in a band at the same time, not at the same time, but also.
Sure. Cool.
Where I'm sure you're not in a band unless you are and you haven't told us.
No, I've done a little dabbling back in the day with them, but no, I am not in a band. I do have a little recording area behind me that I'm hoping to lift the curtain up on. It's been covered for quite a while now, but I want to get back in there, so maybe one of these days I can do so.
Yeah, I got he actually wants to. There's some things I might make a what do they call it, a riff or a beat or something.
Yeah,
He wants to collab with me on some music stuff.
cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell he's talking about, but he does, and he knows what he's talking about. So I just roll with it.
Right.
He knows mix. He knows how to mix it to where whatever the hell I do sounds better after he does his thing.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, there's lots of different levels there. I'm definitely
People go over to his place, lots of different bands, artists, and musicians to record, and that's at the studio that I built him. And I say this because I built that for him, and other people go there, and every band or every person he has that go in there to do a recording for their whatever music they're putting out, all love it, and it's all 100% Han Dynasty work.
cool.
Yeah, so I know what I'm doing. And that's the first one I ever built, but the principles of building I know so well. I slammed that thing out perfectly. Saved him a lot of money too. Saved him like $4,500.
Nice.
Yeah.
My lens here and
To rock and roll people. Actually, they're not rock and roll people. That whatever this new music's called nowadays. I have access to them to loan out stud nose rings, crystallized stud nose rings out to them, so it'll be seen on stage.
there you go.
Yeah, I already got one, not in this round of 4, but next set I got made up, I'm gonna give to one guy that comes over there and does recordings with my neighbor. He goes out and goes tours, all this, whatever they call that stuff. He's out all the time on that kind of thing, and he's got a nose ring. I was like, dude, stick one of these in there.
Really? Cool.
Well, all we need is one person up on a stage with flashing lights on him, and that's
Yep.
I got a whole slew of them in next door. Local artists, but then again, there's a lot of local artists that make it big. It came from the Bay Area, so
For sure.
yeah. So I got going before I met all y'all and got involved in all this advertisement thing on this online thingy. Because I've only been online for like 3 years. I mean, I've had my Facebook page, and that's a good way to check my Facebook page. Even up to 15 years ago, I was rescuing animals. Actually, I was bigger at it back then. We were actually changing laws.
Oh, there we go. There's some sparkly. All right, let's see.
So what about your cameras you were talking about?
Well, I've got a bunch of different angles here that I can quickly adjust and move around, so I think it'll be quite handy. I'm not used to using it yet, but let's see if I can get a close-up of some osmium here.
Oh, is that one of those telescopic cameras?
Yeah, well, it's a telescope, but it's just a telescope on a switchboard that I
Yeah. That's actually what you need to see the osmium. You need to work that out. That'd be awesome as soon as you work that out, brother.
I think I got it here. Let me see if I can get a little focus. Yes.
Hold on a second, Finn. It's a multiple layered question, Finn. It depends on how big the bridge is. It could take a couple of years, depending on the style, architectural style of the bridge, the connection points to the bridge. There's lots of, yeah, Finn or Jeff. Yeah, that's a good estimate.
Evidently, I gotta get.
Thank you, JM. Yeah, everyone should subscribe to Long Live Coins.
Might have to get the other lens.
Yeah, Tom, it took about that for the Bay Bridge too, about 4 to 5 years. You almost got it. There we go. He's getting close.
Oh, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yes, sir. You're getting real close. I could tell it's a triangle piece.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let me put you on full screen here. What am I doing? I'm just being a horrible host. There we go. What I need to get is little sheets of plastic that are different colors that are still translucent, very see-through. And whatever light you use to shine at the osmium, take little pieces of colored plastic and see what it looks like when you put that colored plastic over the osmium, see what the reflection or difference is. My interest is in light passing through a colored object before it hits the crystallized osmium, because then you got a different light pattern hitting that same piece of crystallized osmium, and what would the reflectiveness be of that crystallized osmium when it reflects that slightly altered color back up through that slightly altered color, because it naturally has a blue hue to it. I think it looked badass. Sorry for my language.
No, yeah, that would be interesting. This particular piece has some nice blue hue to it.
Yep, you got a hair on top of it. Yeah, you see it?
See what I think you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. That's the one problem when you get too close up. On that little red piece when I showed you that nose ring, you just don't know how far I go to clean that son of a gun to get those close-ups where you don't see little hairs or white specks and stuff.
Right.
It's actually more work than you think to film that little 30-second thingy. Oh, JM, by the way, I'm getting Finn Hog, I think you missed the earlier comment about ordering 2 10-ounce bars today. Oh, nice, Finn. I'm going to be getting the video shot tomorrow of those nose rings by that same high digital camera that you wanted, and I'll be sending them to you, that video to you. There, you got it now.
Yeah, I want to get some different lighting and try it aside from what they have on this.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking about the different colored thin pieces of plastic that are very translucent to see the difference.
Yeah.
You can definitely see all the different reflective pieces kick up as light moves.
Oops.
And it disappears when you cover up the camera too.
Yeah.
Hide and go seek. Peekaboo.
Cool. Yeah, I need to try a little different.
Try shining laser on it.
That's what I was thinking. I'll have to figure out where we have a laser. I don't know where one is offhand.
See, if you had a cat, you'd have a laser.
Right. I know I have one because I used to have a cat, so.
Thank you for coming up, by the way.
Heck yeah.
I'm going to be probably cleaning out the garage and pulling out my mobile apiary I'm putting it in the backyard. I might do a. It ain't gonna happen probably till spring, around my birthday, around April. But I'll probably do a video on it without bees in it, so you can see the internal workings and whatnot.
So, are you planning on getting some bees and putting them in, or you think they'll find it automatically, or are you just?
It's not technically illegal to own bees in the city limits where I live, but the law states that they have to be 75 foot away from any residency, and
Yeah.
inside this part of the city, there's no place where there's 150 foot between houses, which it would be 75 foot between the two or residents. Even in the alley backyards, it's closer than that, and so it's illegal, but not technically illegal.
Yeah.
And the wording of it made it illegal, but not technically illegal. And they make it very hard to keep bees anywhere around here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not bee friendly, even though up in Napa. And I knew the last mayor. I know this mayor. And they're friends. Well, I wouldn't call them friends because they don't do shit. But I talked to Bob Senpai. He was the last mayor we had, and I told him, I said, hey, Napa County, just north of us, just passed the most friendly bee laws in America. Let's hop on that bandwagon and change the bee laws here in Vallejo. And he talked some crap, and then he never did anything. Yeah. Whatever. Politics suck, even on a small level.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it starts at the top, corruption, and it
This city is so corrupt. Dude, oh my God, I've been here for 22 years. I watched this go through bankruptcy. And like I said, I've known the mayors. I've known the past 3 mayors, past 4, 8, 6, 22. Yeah, I've known them personally, all of them. And I've seen what's happened. I've seen their part of it. Mayor Osme Day, I don't want to say his name. One of the mayors committed multiple felonies by shoving Section 80%. He even stated the words 80%. I want 80% Section 8 in that area. And it's federally illegal to have that bigger percentage of Section 8s in one neighborhood because it destroys the neighborhood. And that's what they did to this area.
So, yeah, JM, this is a Broke Stacker #1. This was his first silver pour, which was done live on a stream, and it was done for me. 3/9 fine silver. I sent him the silver because he's good at pouring copper, and I wanted to see him try silver live. So then we did that on a live stream, and it turned out beautiful on the 3rd attempt. So, but this was his first piece he's poured.
Did he have to make evacuation holes for the hot gases to make it?
It was just a pour into it. It wasn't a cast. It was just.
Oh, okay.
He did a good job on it. And this is actually from, it's close to the same mold anyway, but from a different pour artist. This is from Metally Corrupted.
And you said that was 10 ounces?
These are, this one is, let's see, put it on the page. Let's see.
The one from Broke Stacker.
Broke is says on here, it's a little, 3.66.
Okay, are you going to market those?
No.
Come on, man. Come on. That numismatic, you could get your money out of it. That's a new product.
Oh, I could definitely get my money out of it, but they're kind of set pieces from pour artists for my channel, so I kind of cherish them.
Well, I don't sell those ones, but you
we might do that. Yeah,
come up with a coin set of that. I mean, you got the Crystallized Osmium Institute making the
Yep. No, I've been thinking about that. Yep, setting them in there, that would be sweet.
Yes, it would, and I mean, it's lining up for you.
2 LLC, Metally Corrupted. I like that he did it on the edges. I asked him to try, and he went ahead. 3/9 fine.
It's hard to do that.
I think it's 4 ounce, about 4 ounces. 4 ounce Troy right there, I think.
You got to take a little hammer and beat that.
Yep, and then of course this is toned. Obviously, the last one wasn't. So, a couple of variants. And then let's see. I also have right next to it that one that is not tinted is from T the Silver Stacker. He did a nice punch job on the back of it. He went around each, put his T logo in the middle, and then 4.1 ounces Troy, 3/9 fine, number 14,
The B.
a B with a star. Pretty sweet piece.
And that's actually a different design of the comb state style.
Yeah, now this one, of course, my main channel piece was one of T's original pours back from the day. I think it wasn't his first, but he did put 2 LLC, 5.1 ounces with those. Look at those pour lines.
Yeah, you're gonna find this funny. About I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, I was a part-time professional photographer as well as ironworker, and of course I was into bees, and I had staged and set up a scene so the bees would come up so I could get pictures of them, and I got so many pictures, close-up pictures of bees with their tongues out, and you'd be amazed at how long the bee's tongue actually is. It's amber color, and it's about 1/3 the length of their body, easy.
Huh.
Yeah, it's amazing how big their tongues are. I stuck
Huh.
a little dish out, and I've stuck honey out there. That's when I was doing all kinds of experiments. I made friends with the bees. I did all kinds. That's when I came up with veganomics, and I
Did you
pulled
say veganomics? What did you say?
veganomics. That's the word.
Veganomics.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I came up with for my whole design in the beekeeping field. When I changed everything up to my style, I included and made the word up of veganomics because I actually tried to think how the bee would like to live over the way we gave them to live. And I went into if I don't know. It's like what's his name? The Mushroom King, Paul Stamens. He did a lot of crazy shit, but he's got like 17 patents on mushrooms now, and he's like on TED Talks all the time. Well, I kind of sort of did the same route that he went, but on the bees, and gained the similar in-depth insight that he did on mushrooms, but mine was on bees.
Huh.
Yeah. Our work kind of entangled because he at the end of his work and his little scientific experiments, he got into bees and mushrooms, and at the end of my studies of bees and coming up with this whole system I have, I was introduced to Paul Stamens, and had to rethink some principles because of what he learned with bees and with the introduction of bees and mushrooms in the mycelia network. And it actually made some scientific breakthroughs for bee longevity and health, believe it or not.
Huh.
Yeah, mushrooms. Yeah,
Cool.
I really studied the fuck out of bees, man. To this day, I still save bees' lives. I see them like drowning or just freshly drowned. And you can actually bring a bee back to life if it's not been drowned for too long. You can bring it back to life.
Well, I seen this summer that wasps can stay underwater for quite a bit of time and be.
Oh yeah, they got little bubbles that'll form around them, their heads, because the little like waxy kind of oily stuff they have on them. Water doesn't actually touch them; it'll surround and like form an air bubble around them that'll last a good long while. But it also works against them because that helps kill them. Because again, in my studies, and this is why I also changed up the design of the beehive. How bees kill wasps is they'll surround them, and if they can corner them or something like that, they're 8, 10, 12 of them will get around and all start flapping their wings and get the temperature over 103 degrees, and it kills the wasp.
No.
That's why I changed the entry of the bee box, because I gave them. There's several. Maybe I'll do a video on it, an explanation of why I did it. There's several good reasons why I've changed from Langstroth's. I changed the whole Langstroth system, and I am claiming that it is a useless system for beekeeping, for the health of the bee and the life and happiness of the bee, and ultimately humans.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, you have to understand ichthyology and bees before you. I don't know. I could probably layman's talk it down and get people to understand it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know I could actually.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like thinking about all the different elements of bees and beehives and how they interact and how it can interact with stacking.
All right, hold on a second here. Put your earplugs in or turn the volume down. I'm not sure how loud this will be.
So they're starting to beard up on this peach tree, and the only thing that's not optimal about this situation in terms of recapturing the colony is the branch is a little thick. If the branch is a little thinner, the whole swarm can be dislodged in one mass into the box by shaking the branch, with a real sharp shake. And this branch is a little thick for that trick, but we'll give it a try and see how it works. It's going to take a minute for the swarm to coalesce, and we'll get back to that.
Those bees swarmed from my hive, and I knew they were friendly because of it. So I did not. I was not at all concerned about getting stung because they were happy bees.
Huh.
Yeah, a happy bee won't commit suicide on you, because when a bee stings you, they kill themselves actually. So I mean, if you really think about it, it's not a in any life form. It's not their forced choice to give up their life. It's always the last choice they have. So if you
Sure.
change up the scenario before you get to them making that decision, you can come up with a new relationship for that creature, and that's what I did.
Cool.
Yeah, I just actually thought of the bees. I was like, why do you do that first thing? Well, first, if they come out of the hive and want to sting you, obviously they're not happy.
For sure.
So something's wrong from the start. You being there's just an it's them being able to express their dislike of how they're being kept.
Sure.
But people misrepresent that and say, oh, they're mean bees. No, you're a shitty beekeeper. People don't ever want to say that,
Right.
But I do. I will. And that's where I started off. The guy who taught me beekeeping, I ended up telling him he was full of shit. And then I showed him he was full of shit because he had a certain mentality. And I needed to learn their way of doing beekeeping so I could see where their mistakes were. And he was so sad. He'd been doing beekeeping for like 50 years and he did it this one way and that was the way and that's the only way and no other way but that way. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so, buddy. I said, let me blow your brains. And then on top of that, I created my bee business off of his business because he had them stationed somewhere. And this is where I came up with the and you can develop these anywhere in America. I call them the swarm highway. And there's certain things you can look for in certain areas. And if you can figure out where these things are, you can determine where the bees are going to swarm in advance. And you can actually throw up what I call bee traps or temporary housing. And most of the time they'll go to them. And his bees always swarmed. And I figured out, the dynamics of the earth and the wind. And I was like, okay, this is the way they're probably going to go. And I set up my traps about a half mile away. And I got like 20 hives a year off of him not maintaining his bees properly.
Yeah.
And I started my whole business off of him not knowing how to care for his bees.
Nice. Sure.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying hi to Silver Boy Blues coming in there.
Now that was a nice. What's that design?
This is a replica of. Well, let me grab my ancient coins over here.
Yeah, no, I think it's a 346 AD Roman coin, I believe, or BC, not AD, BC. It's very familiar.
BC. It's a Lysimachus.
Lysimachus, that's what
replica.
it was.
Yeah, which was one of Alexander the Great's generals.
Yep. Yeah, I think that gentleman you have on your show every now and then, either he or you had an original of that and not that as good a condition.
Yeah, that would be Aaron Burke. This is the same coin. This is the actual ancient coin.
Yeah, the original.
Right.
At first, I thought it was a Medusa
So
because
no,
you see those little
yeah,
swirls in some of the hairs. It
sure.
looks. I mistook it at first sighting. I was like, "Oh, is that a Medusa coin?" Because they actually produced Medusa coins.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So yeah, this is a 5-ounce replica of that piece. That is modest.
So it was horns on the crown that he had. Okay.
Yep, horn of Amon probably.
Now that design I like. That wallpaper design, whatever that is.
Yeah,
That's a nice design he did there.
kind of a cool
Who did
piece.
that?
Argent mint,
Oh, okay.
Argentia, 5-ounce, full
Nice.
nines.
Hey, Silver Blaze Blue. Sorry I didn't say hello.
Nice toned piece.
I actually like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like the original a lot better, but that one is because of course, the detail and the newness. Obviously, the artistic value is a lot better, but for the
Right.
authentic historic nature, I like the original. I
Yeah.
actually like that time period of Rome.
Yeah, no doubt. Yep. The Greek time period, which Rome is basically Greek, just kind of a branch of.
Well, in
Depends on how you look at things, I guess. But yeah.
yeah, it's the time period. The one reason why I like it is I think it was around 356 BC. It was the first Roman naval battle, and actually on the record books of history, the largest naval battle in history against the Carthaginian Empire. And it was actually the beginning of the fall of the Carthaginian Empire.
Yep.
And there were a lot of things happened at that time period. So that's why I like that coinage from that time period. And yes, Greeks were also around at that time period, but the Carthaginian Empire obviously controlled half the south half of the Mediterranean, the African coastline, and
Yeah.
the Middle Eastern coastline.
Yeah, no, that's the time period that I'm fascinated with too.
Yeah,
And that's about the best coinage comes from that period.
yeah,
Too.
yeah. There's actually a site that has yet been discovered that was between a Carthaginian admiral and a Roman admiral in the northern part of Sicily, where it was just those two with their little escort boats got in a little skirmish, and a couple boats went down. And no one's ever done any archaeology to find them, but because of who was on those two bigger boats, I could almost guarantee the amount of archaeological finds from those two sunken boats that happened during that battle would be off the charts. And I've never seen any articles or papers done on anyone discovering or looking for it.
Yeah, what's funny about that is so the Carthaginians and the Greeks were when you were talking about that naval battle, they were much better, or from what I've looked into it, they were better naval, they were better at the sea, and it was a naval ship of the Carthaginians or the Greeks that had they lost it, and it beached for the Romans, and so they came over and looked at that ship and made their own, and then they put a little hook on the end of their ship because they weren't as good at maritime, and that hook would fall and smash into their boats and hook them, and then they would run across that plank so that they could
with the
attack.
gladiators. Yeah, and that's why I'm very interested in that site, because they're saying what they did is strategically the Romans didn't have a navy, so they loaded up boats with their centurions. So they had a hooked walkway that they would drop on, like you said, and their centurions would run across it, and they would do army style battle on a navy boat.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, because they were just ramming their ships with their pointed brows and sinking them, and they're like, how do we get in battle with these guys?
And that's another thing. If you drop that hook, it'll also help take their ship down.
Right.
Ooh, the Aztecian calendar coin.
Yep, I know Neil likes this one. So
yeah, that one's gorgeous.
Nice.
Looks like a key to open up a space wormhole for Stargate.
Right. No doubt. Well, cool, Neil. I thought I'd just pop up and say
I
hello.
appreciate it. I liked you showing those things that you got, man. That's cool. And the representation of the rest of the community that's doing work to make those things happen is actually cool to showcase and let other people know about. And I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually very interested. I wish, it'd be nice to get there. I'd like to talk about that era, that historical era of time. The coin's just part of it,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I'm thinking to try to see if I can pull a little bit more of that out of Aaron, but I don't want to push too far because I don't want to make him uncomfortable and give
Well,
more than he's got or something. But yeah,
he's got to have some excellent knowledge of the history of that
right.
time.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I like that he knows about the coins, but I also know a little bit about the coins, and that tells me he knows more about the history, and that's what I'm very interested in.
Yeah.
And if he does, it would be a shame not to talk about it and spread the knowledge.
For sure. Yep. Yeah, I'm always looking forward to my talks with Aaron as I try to warm up to it a little bit, and you got to get to know someone sometimes a little bit before you press into things. So
It all depends.
but yeah, it's been good so far.
I have a tendency of walking into the room, seeing who thinks they're the head of the room, and walking right up to them and starting a conversation.
Sure.
That's kind of sort of how I do things. That's how I got into beekeeping too. I went to the Walnut Creek Beekeepers Association. Walnut Creek in this area of the Bay Area is a very wealthy area. I chose it specifically because I figured if I was going to get into extractions, I wanted to get into extractions in rich people's areas so I could charge more. So I go to this Beekeepers Association, big old hall. It's at some country club, and like 150 people there. And I'm just looking around, and I'm seeing these different groups, and I'm like, that guy right there, that's the guy I think I need to talk to. So
Yeah.
I just walk my way over in this group, and I start talking a little bit of my knowledge, asking a few questions, get up next to him, get to talk to him, and found out he was indeed the president of the Beekeepers Association. And instantly, because of my knowledge of bees that I brought to the table, he likened me. And because people saw him talking to me, it warmed them up to be able to just walk up and talk to me. And it really accelerated my ability to learn faster than if people hadn't have been warmed up to me by that one move.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, kind of socially strategic if I have to be, even though I hate social scenes. And
Yeah.
that's probably why I'm that way. Get in, get out, get the job done. Don't
Sure.
waste time.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting trying to learn how to
work people?
get through life and
It's easy.
talk to people and get things done, and how not to go too far, but yet not go not at all. And so yeah.
What's hard is finding people who are authentic that you don't have to work.
Yeah. You got a nice piece coming yourself, Silver Boy. That's one of my nicer pieces coming your way shortly. So I'm gonna have trouble I think I've been looking and I have yet to find one that has as nice of a design as that one. So a little bit jelly that you picked it up off me so fast, but that's cool.
Have you seen Bee's Eyes picture up close?
I think I might have. I don't know. What were you?
Think of crystallized osmium in the bee's eyes. If you do anything with that piece, I've been looking at that piece thinking what I would do.
Oh, that is a very interesting idea.
Yeah, because the bee's eyes is the most similar to the crystallized osmium as it has a lot of different points of reflection. The bee's eyes has a lot of points to look through.
Yeah,
so
that's interesting.
I think maybe you get something that would make it look like the bee has crystallized osmium eyes. That would be
For sure. Cool. No, yeah, you could do that for sure. Get some little crystallized osmium eyes on this piece. Just drill them out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was looking at that one specific as I was talking, actually.
That'd be kind of fun.
Put them at about a 35-degree angle.
Right. Yep.
Set them in there. That would set that piece off big time.
That would be cool.
Actually, the eyes look like they're star-shaped right now.
You could make it happen.
Yeah, interesting. I do like that. You have a good thing on that, and I like that you got the Osmium Institute into making that design.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get some pieces. I wanna start moving some of those. I think we're working on getting some mid-sized ones made. So it's kind of an angle I'm working right now. And then I'm hoping to get some of those from you whenever we'll have to work that out later. But I'm ready for some of those too. So
Oh, I'm fixing to end this stream. There's one or two people that want to come in on the backstage or whatever it's called. So I would ask that you hang out because they had mentioned wanting to chat with both of us.
okay.
And, so I encourage JM if you want to come. That would be cool. I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Thank you, Long Live Coins, for coming up, and you've encouraged me more to maybe do a live stream or a video about because it's been a while since I thought about how much I actually put into my bee thing. I put 6 years of my life into that.
No, it sounds like there's a lot of good knowledge there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. I need to start thinking about formatting and doing like maybe a 5 or 6 video episode because there's a lot to it. I changed everything. The only thing that's the same is it's a box and they're bees.
Cool.
Everything else changed. But all right, so I'm gonna end the stream. Everyone who wants to show up backstage, it's pinned to the top. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's Silver Boy. If you want to come up there, I think there's a link pinned to the top
Yeah.
of the chat. If you click into that, it should bring you in.
Yep, it will. And anyone else who wants to join, I'm going to end the stream so we can do I believe it's a backstage talk and get some things discussed that doesn't include long distance phone bills. All right, so I'm on end the stream. Thank you very much, everyone, for showing up. I do appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you got a little bit something out of this. And we'll talk next Sunday.
Thanks, everybody.